Hey guys, it's Genoheat here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're going to be doing another video on the disc test, as I like to call it. And for today, we're going to be doing a somewhat recent game, which is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. The new one, that is, not the original one. Because the original one, back then, games all came on the disc, like everything was on the disc. But these days, a lot of games, not much on a disc, if anything at all. So, we're going to try Modern Warfare 2. Now, the Call of Duty games, the recent ones, have been a bit iffy. I know like some older Call of Duty games, like as far back as Infinite Warfare, maybe World War II, those games are fine. Everything came on a disc. You could get the whole experience offline on a disc. But what about Modern Warfare 2, the most recent Call of Duty game? Well, it's not looking good right off the bat. The base game that's installing, it says it's only installing like 300 or so megabytes. And that installs really quick. And then the rest, all these content packs, they're just like 10 megabyte installs each. And it only takes a few minutes to install all of them. But yeah, it's it doesn't seem really good at all. It doesn't seem promising. I mean, it does seem to install more stuff than the previous Call of Duty games. I think like a lot of games these days, like I think some previous Call of Duty games and other like online only games, stuff like that, there's like only like 10 megabytes on a disk in total, but this one has a few hundred megabytes, so it's obviously not the full game. But maybe there's something else on the disk that we don't know of. So I'm gonna speed up this install a little bit, because even though it's 10 megabyte files for each content pack, it does take like almost like 30 seconds each, so it does take a little bit longer if I don't speed this up. So it's obvious the full game is not on a disc, but what's odd is that after the install is done, if you remember the base game, it said it was only like a few hundred megabytes, like 300 megabytes, and each content pack was like 10 megabytes. And yet, the base game now says it takes up 12.4 gigabytes on my Series X's storage. So, that's very odd. I mean, the content packs are still 10 megabytes each. So, I don't know how that few hundred megabytes became like 12 gigabytes. That must be some insane compression otherwise. But if there's 12 megabytes, then could that be something? I mean, it's definitely still not the full game. The campaign alone is not 12 gigabytes. So let's just start it up and see what's on the disc. So we have the splash screen, and we get this message that says an update is required, and that you need to be signed into the Xbox network, and you gotta download the update for Call of Duty. So I don't know exactly like what's on the disc content wise, like what that 12 gigabyte is that used to be like 300 megabytes to install. But you only get this message, and you can't close that message either. It's like there forever until you like force quit the game. So yeah, that's what you get on the disc. You get a splash screen and a message that you can't close out of, no matter how much you spam it. But you can't, no campaign, nothing. Very disappointing, unfortunately. And Call of Duty used to be pretty good on the disc, but not anymore. So there you guys have it. That's what's on the disc. Just that annoying message. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be interesting. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave thoughts and comments. Let me know if there's any other games you want me to test out. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.